Hey friends, it's Emily from burlapkitchen.com, and today I'm going to walk you through our Ladybug craft kit. So this is a set of 2 standalone ladybugs. So the first thing you're going to do is glue the 2 wood pieces together. So one will be a larger, they'll both look the same. So 2 are smaller and 2 are larger. So once you get those 2 glued together, then you're going to go ahead and glue the 3rd piece, that is the piece without the head, glue that on to each ladybug. And then you're going to start staining. So then we're going to go ahead and stain all these little pieces of our ladybug. So there will be, each ladybug will have 3 body pieces. 2 of them will be the same and 1 will be the one without the head, which is separate, that we'll add later. So once we get that all stained, and the reason why there's so many is that just helps it so it stands on its own. Once we get everything stained, I'm going to wipe it down a little bit. And I'm using Varathane's water-based stain in the color Early American. I just love this stain because, for one, it's water-based. It doesn't have that harsh stain, and for 2, or that harsh smell. And for 2, it comes off your hands really easy. So once we get everything dried, then we're going to come in with some red. I'm using the color Flamenco Red. It is one of my favorite reds for these types of projects. So we're going to give that a good coat of red paint here, and I went around the rim too. Now, I don't do the back because I always say a stained back is a finished back in my opinion, but if you want to, you're welcome to do that also. So we're going to do the same thing here on the larger ladybug. That's looking pretty good. So now we're just going to make sure everything's nice and dry, and then I'm going to come in real quick here with the 2nd coat on each ladybug. So we're going to go ahead and give that a 2nd coat of paint and make sure it's nice and dry. Next, we're going to come in with some jet black. Any type of black will look fine with this. And then we're going to add the little dots on the ladybug. Now, these are engraved and they will come through the paint. If you look close enough, you can kind of see it on my computer screen coming through. And then you're just going to follow that engraving and go ahead and paint those black. So I did go ahead and give them a 2nd coat. Now I'm going to come over to the smaller ladybug and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to paint those black. And then we're also going to paint the ladybug head black. Make sure it's nice and dry. Let's come over to the larger one and paint that black as well. That's looking pretty good. And again, we're going to make sure it's dry. And I did go in with a 2nd coat on both of these. Now we're also going to paint, you'll have 4 little circles in your kit, and we're going to paint all of those black. Just like that. That's looking pretty good. And then again, I did the backs of them on this one. And then I went ahead and once everything was dry, I sanded it because I really like the rustic look. We do provide a piece of sandpaper in almost all of our kits, unless you absolutely don't need it. But almost all of our kits come with a little piece of sandpaper. And I like to get these little yellow sanding blocks. You can get them at Lowe's. I had a link for them for Amazon. And then our sandpaper will just fit right over top of that. And then just go ahead and sand the ladybug, the large one and the small one. Again, we're just giving it that rustic look. Then we're going to come in with some white paint, again following the engraving. There's a little engraving on there for the eyeball, so we're going to go ahead and paint that white. And then we're going to move to the smaller one, and you're going to need kind of like a fine tip brush to kind of follow the engraving to get the outline. That's looking pretty good. So once we get that done, we're going to go ahead and make sure it's nice and dry. And then I'm going to also sand that up just real lightly. Once we get that sanded up, I'm going to put a black dot in the center for the eyeball. And then you're going to have some rusty wire in your kit. We're just going to wrap that around a paintbrush or a pencil, something round, just to make it look like little curly cues. And we're going to add that. So I laid it down on the stained part of the ladybug and then added the head on top so it stays in place. So put some glue over it and it will stay in place pretty good. And then we're going to take the little black centers or circles and we're going to glue them to the top of the rusty wire. So we're going to glue that one on. Let's glue our 2nd piece on. That's looking pretty good. Be careful you don't burn yourself when you do this because it's very easy to do. So again, we're going to curl the 2nd piece of wire. You'll have 1 piece of wire that you cut in half to make 2 pieces. And then we're going to do the same thing. And we're going to add these 2 little circles. And that is it. This turned out so cute. Let me know what you guys think of this. And if you've finished your kit, show us a picture in the comments. Thanks so much for watching.